How does the MDC begin planning for rerouting the traffic, and what types of procedures are put in place to inform people that this new route is going to be put in place?
Well, what we tried to do was supplement current initiatives that the MDC has. For example, we have a very formal public liaison function where we have hired groups from the various neighborhoods that know the people, the businesses, and things, and the other operations,
sure.
Up to and including, because of their personal connections, they know all the special cases we need to be aware of. So we've been working with those folks. Now, the primary way it works is the contractor has some work to do. This is in the more active and real-time frame right now. They will report it to a traffic website, which notifies a whole group of people. So we can, one, put it up on our website that just went online about 3 weeks ago. Well, let's see, we did our full-scale live demonstration of it, where people can go to the site, and you go to the MDC website, and there'll be a link that says traffic alerts, and you can click on it. And when you go there, it'll show you all the streets in this particular pilot region. You can click on the projects, and it'll tell you what the particular traffic obstruction is. There will also be special alerts so that if you're commuting up and down, say, Albany Avenue or Farmington, you'll get a good sense of what is going on. That is shared with all the groups I just mentioned to you, so that we're trying to get as widespread distribution of that. Going back to the liaison groups, they actively go out into the community and talk to the folks involved, both the businesses and the residents. And we're making some extra effort, like I said, specifically with the school board right now, because, again, they're just starting up the school year, and that's going to be a very dynamic process, probably for 2 to 3 weeks, as they figure out exactly what the routes are, where all the students are, what are the best bus stops, and things of that nature. And then, of course, you have the special need children that have direct pickup, so we have to be very careful that we alert the contractors to that fact, so that they can drive the buses to their house directly. And in some of the cases, the roads, like Edgewood, gets closed periodically, so we need to just be good neighbors.
Okay. And obviously everybody doesn't have computer or access to the internet, and there are other ways that you talk to people, residents, business owners, and communities as well.
Yes. Above and beyond that, we also have meetings with these particular neighborhood groups on a regular basis. We started to do it almost weekly, but we found that most of the people are running businesses, so they couldn't give up that much time.
Okay.
So we're going to try to structure it so that it's convenient for them, there is the appropriate flow of information, and that way, if an event is coming up that they need to know about and we need to get input, the West Indian Parade Festival was a good example.
Okay.
We worked with those folks quite a bit ahead of time, and in that particular case, we had the contractor not work on Main Street during the course of that week and made special provisions for the day of the parade. Again, making sure the construction sites are safe and that nobody can get hurt.
You've got outreach and community liaison type programs going on. You're trying to get with every organization in the communities that's affected by this as you can. Are you hearing any complaints? Is there anything constant? Or I know this is a work in progress still, but is there one area or one item that seems to be standing out that you hear over and over again?
Yes, and I tend to agree. We probably should have done this a year ago. The ideal situation would have been to get this process up and running, make these connections, get the policies and procedures in place so we had a real good feel for how we wanted to establish this. We are catching up, and I think right now we've reached an even keel with the particular neighborhoods, and I think there's a very good relationship now. The other issue is just trying to coordinate all the people that are involved with the construction project, because you have Hartford Police, you have the contractor. In many cases, we have a consultant on board who does the inspection work. We also have MDC folks, and that's just the basic group that's out on the street every day.
Right.
And I mentioned all the different utilities that roll in and out, and also our own MDC folks that are doing things like fixing water lines to houses or fixing, in some cases we have these situations where we've done work and you have to repair the road in a little section. So we're constantly trying to balance that. And I'll be honest with you, right now, as I said, it's coming together because we're getting CNG to report, Connecticut Natural Gas, to report where their work crews are. We're getting our folks to report where the work crews are. Because ultimately, as I was saying, once this is all established, we can then push it off to the 8 district municipalities in total And one of our next steps is to also coordinate with the Department of Transportation, because they have a website that's similar, that we can link each other back and forth so they know what we're up to in this particular region. Long term, the Capital Region Council of Government has indicated that they would like to see how we do this and potentially use it as a model for the 29 towns in the region.
Okay, well, good. Well, this is obviously one of the most important aspects of the traffic plan, ensuring that the areas affected are kept well informed. I'm sure that you got so much stuff locked in here about this whole process. Anything that we haven't gone over that you want to point out to our viewers right now that they would need to pay attention to?
Yes, there's one message that I always like to share with people, because going back to my previous life, I was involved in building a lot of roads, and it was always about our road project. And that's sort of what this started out as. It's the clean water program, the district has to do this. But when it gets to this part of the project, this is really when you have to talk about building a team, because it won't be successful if we just go in there and do it on our own. We need to advise the people of what's going on, listen to their needs, coordinate them appropriately. And the important thing is to get them to understand that if you have a question, we have the public outreach groups. There's also the ability to contact the district directly. But ideally, and again, this is something that it's somewhat new to the way we do business, is that there's records kept. You can walk into the offices of the outreach groups, because they're located in all the different project areas. Sure. Very accessible, and we're trying to be as responsive as we can, and we get out there and try to address those issues. And it could be something as simple as that, you know, my grandmother needs to be picked up so that she can get to a doctor appointment. Sure. And making certain that there's access that day. Because as we go up and down the streets, you're going to lose sidewalk access, driveways are going to be blocked periodically. But as long as everybody is aware of what's going on, and just cooperate with each other. But at the end of the day, it's all about team building, and that's what we're trying to accomplish. Yeah,
and I think in a lot of cases, you know, again, us regular people who live in neighborhoods or operate businesses kind of have a they and us kind of mentality. Yes. That this can't really operate smoothly that way.
No, and I can appreciate the situation, because business is affected by construction like this. And unless we cooperate with each other and do everything in our power, and it's going to take everybody in that group I told you about, from the police to the utility companies to the MDC, to work together to the best end.
Any prediction on all these elements that you spoke about finally coming together and everything running in one operation in terms of communication with everybody? Any target date plan that'll all come together?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's coming together reasonably well, so we're going to accelerate it. We believe that and we're going to spend some time over the winter, because obviously the vast majority of the construction work will slow down. But we want to get all our policies and procedures formally put in place. The notification process is passed on to all the different inspectors so that they know the requirements. There's some time frames associated with it. We need to get the reports for the next week by noon on the previous Friday, so we can get it into the system. And what we're hoping right now is, originally we were just going to go into the Hartford region, but we may, at the end of the day, try to accelerate getting out into the other district towns.
All right. Carl Bond, thanks so much for being with us. I am sure the community and business owners and residents will be glad to be kept informed over all these traffic disruptions and delays as we continue with the Clean Water Project. Thanks again for being with us. That does it for this edition of Newsline today. As always at the MDC, we welcome you to contact us if you have any questions or you'd like more information on the Clean Water Project or overall MDC programs and initiatives. You can do that by visiting our website at www.themdc.com or phone us at 860-278-7850. Or you can sign up to receive our quarterly newsletter by emailing us at newsletter@themdc.com. Thanks again to both our guests for this edition of Newsline. I am Eric Clemens. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time on Newsline.